People moving to Charlotte aren't all looking for the same thing. Families from Boston, buyers from California, and people leaving Texas all keep landing in different places for different reasons. In this video, I'm covering the Charlotte suburbs everyone's moving to and which one fits someone like you. I've been helping people relocate here for many years, and after lots of transactions, the pattern becomes pretty hard to miss. The pattern most relocators are missing. Many of the people who work with me are families or couples getting ready to have a baby, and they're looking for a place that fits the life that they want to build. I had a client from Boston who said it perfectly. She had one baby and wanted another, but she didn't want to keep having kids in their tiny apartment. She wanted a fenced-in backyard where her kids could play outside, but that kind of home in Boston would have cost her about $1.5 million. So she found a home in Charlotte that fits exactly what she wanted within her budget. Now, one of her biggest concerns of moving here was being further away from family, but it's actually not as big of a problem because Charlotte Douglas Airport has nonstop flights to Boston, New York, and so many other major cities. The fares have become affordable enough that going home 3 or 4 times a year isn't a major obstacle anymore. So for many families, moving doesn't feel like giving up those relationships. On the other hand, if you enjoy golf, some of the nicest country clubs around Boston have initiation fees over $200K. But here, you can join a great club for a fraction of that. It's one more example of how your money stretches further, not just when you buy a house, but in the way that you live every day. That's why these neighborhoods keep showing up when people are looking to relocate. Every neighborhood I'm covering today is about 15 to 20 minutes from uptown, and each one is attracting buyers from different parts of the country for different reasons. I always encourage people to look past the neighborhoods everyone talks about first. The best fit is often one that they didn't even have in mind. So let's start with the first suburb on this list, Huntington Farms, the Northeast family entry point. Huntington Farms is a neighborhood that keeps coming up for families moving from places like Boston, New Jersey, and New York because it solves the same problem. They need to stay around or under $800,000, they want good schools, and they still need an easy commute. It's southwest of SouthPark, so you're close to grocery stores, restaurants, and everyday shopping. You're also only about 15 to 20 minutes from uptown, which makes a big difference if someone in the family is commuting every day. And even though Beverly Woods is right next door and shares the same high school zoning, Huntington Farms is usually the more affordable choice. Stick around because there's another neighborhood where buyers are spending a lot more money, and there's a pretty good reason they're doing it. Now, most of the homes in Huntington Farms were built between the 1960s and the early 1980s, so you'll find brick ranches and split levels on larger lots. There's also no HOA, which gives buyers flexibility. The homes here usually sell from the mid 600s into the low 800s. If your goal is good schools, staying close to uptown, and keeping your budget under $800,000, this is one of the best neighborhoods in this part of Charlotte. Now, if your budget stretches a little further, there's another neighborhood that might be an even better fit. If you're relocating to Charlotte and you're not sure where to start, I'd love to help. We can talk about what you're looking for, answer your questions, and figure out which neighborhoods fit your lifestyle and your budget. My contact information is in the description below. Now, let's get back to the video. Beverly Woods, the California sweet spot. Beverly Woods is right across the street from Huntington Farms. These neighborhoods have a lot in common, but Beverly Woods is usually a little more expensive, with most homes selling between the high 700s and the mid 900,000s. Many California buyers have the same wish list. They want a 4-bedroom home with a pool, and they don't want more than about a 30-minute work commute. They also want to keep the price under $1 million, and that's what makes Beverly Woods such a good fit. In the Bay Area or Los Angeles, that same budget often means making compromises. Here, it can buy the kind of home that they were hoping for in the first place. They get more space, a larger yard, and room for a pool, all while staying close to the city. The neighborhood itself is part of the draw too. You have old big trees, larger lots, and homes that range from classic brick ranches to beautiful custom builds. It's established, but it also has become more desirable over the last few years because of its location to SouthPark. If someone has a little more room in the budget, I also show them Sharon Woods. It's right next door and it has a very similar feel, but the homes in the lots are larger. Prices start around the high 900s before going well over $2 million. So you stay in the same general area, but you get even more house and more land. For buyers moving from California, it's the same idea with a little more room to grow. If you have even more room in the budget, there's another neighborhood that's worth looking at, Cotswold and Sherwood Forest. Cotswold and Sherwood Forest are some of the first neighborhoods I recommend to people who have a little more room in their budget. This is where I live, so it's naturally one of the areas that I know best. You're only about 15 minutes from uptown, and most of this area is zoned for Myers Park High School, so it's a great fit for buyers who want to stay close to the city. By the time buyers start looking at Cotswold and Sherwood Forest, they've usually done their homework. They've already looked at the entry point neighborhoods, and now they're ready to spend a little bit more. That's especially common for buyers relocating from New Jersey, New York, Connecticut, and California. I know we've been mostly talking about neighborhoods for families, but later I'll show you one that's a much better fit for young professionals, empty nesters, and retirees. Now, Sherwood Forest is a great example of why demand has grown so much. Buyers aren't just renovating homes anymore. They're paying around $800,000 just for the lot, tearing the house down, and then building something new. About a year ago, those teardown lots were selling in the mid to high 600,000s. Today, they're closer to the low 800,000s, which shows how much demand has grown just in this area in the last year. If you're buying in this part of Charlotte, renovated homes and newer construction usually starts in the high 800,000s and goes well beyond the 1 million and even the 2 million range. Buyers are paying more for the location, the schools, and the character these neighborhoods already have. And if Cotswold has caught your attention, I already have a full video that goes much deeper into what it's like to live there, so I'll link that in the description below. The next neighborhood is for buyers with an even bigger budget and with very different priorities. Lansdowne, the mega mansion play. Lansdowne sits about 5 minutes south of Sherwood Forest, and it's changing really fast. As you drive through, it's just massive mansion after massive mansion, and then right next to them you'll see one of the original ranch homes or split levels. The median home price here is in the high 900s, but you can find homes from the $1 to $3 million range. Now there's a pattern that repeats all over the neighborhood. Older homes are being torn down and replaced. Tear down lots are already selling in the low to mid 800,000s, so buyers are paying that much just for the land before they even start building. The buyers moving here usually have a much bigger budget than we've talked about so far. Many are coming from California, Texas, and the Northeast. They're often business owners or they've recently sold a business, so they have the budget to build the house that they really want on one of these large lots. In LA, that same budget would have bought a small townhome. Here, it buys a $3 million custom home on a large lot. In just a minute, I'll break down which neighborhood makes the most sense depending on your lifestyle, your budget, and where you're moving from. Now, when it comes to schools, Lansdowne is not even zoned for one that most families are looking for, but families are still coming here and building these mega mansions because they're already planning on private school anyway, so they don't really care about the public school zoning. The Lansdowne neighborhood is located right next to some of the more popular options like Providence Day School and Charlotte Christian School. The last neighborhood on this list is a much better fit for buyers looking for something different than everything that we've covered so far. Dilworth, the closer to downtown walkable option. If being close to uptown is your priority, Dilworth is one of the first neighborhoods that I would look at. It's a historic neighborhood just south of uptown where you can walk to restaurants, coffee shops, and local stores. Most of the homes have been preserved over the years, so the neighborhood has a lot of the character people move there for. The buyers looking at Dilworth usually aren't choosing it because of school zones or bigger lots. It's a great fit for young professionals, couples without kids, retirees. What makes Dilworth so unique is the mix of people who live there. You'll have conservative families living just a few doors down from very liberal neighbors with rainbow flags, and it all works. It's one of the most politically and socially diverse neighborhoods that you'll find in this part of Charlotte. If a certain school zone or a big backyard is high on your list, one of the earlier neighborhoods will probably be a better fit. But if you'd rather be close to uptown and have a neighborhood that you can enjoy on foot, Dilworth is hard to beat. Now that you've seen all 5 neighborhoods, let's put them side by side and figure out which one fits you best. The pattern mapped to your move. By now, you probably have a good idea which neighborhood sounds the most like you. Huntington Farms is probably the best place to start if you're moving from Boston, New Jersey, or New York, if you need to stay under the 800,000s and good schools are high on your list. If you're coming from California and you're looking for a 4-bedroom home with a pool under 1 million, Beverly Woods is a great fit. And if your budget stretches a little further, Sharon Woods is the next natural step. For people that have more room in the budget and are looking for an established neighborhood, Cotswold and Sherwood Forest are definitely worth a close look. Lansdowne is where I'd be looking if you have a bigger budget, you're planning on private school, and you want to build a custom home on a large lot. And if you don't need a school zone and you'd rather be close to uptown in a walkable neighborhood with tons of local restaurants and places to go, Dilworth is probably going to be your best fit. Most people start their search with 2 to 3 neighborhoods a friend told them about, but those aren't always the best options. And that's why it's so important to find the neighborhood that fits the way that you want to live before you start making offers. There isn't one neighborhood that's right for everyone. The goal is finding the one that fits the way that you want to live before you start touring houses. If you're thinking about moving to Charlotte and you're trying to figure out which neighborhood makes the most sense for you, reach out. I'd be happy to talk through your budget, what you're looking for, and help you narrow it down. My email is gracie.griffin@compass.com. If Cotswold or Sherwood Forest stand out to you, I've linked my full tour of the area below. It goes a lot deeper into what it's really like to live there before you start looking at homes. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.